Hey guys, today we are going to graph polynomials part 1. So we are going to be able to determine our end behavior of our polynomial. So what is end behavior? End behavior is where our graph is going as our x values are approaching either positive infinity, so as we are going to the right, or as we are approaching negative infinity, we're going to the left. We want to know what our graph is doing. There are two factors in our end behavior, our leading coefficient and our degree. So we're going to look at the 4 different instances of positive and negative leading coefficient and even and odd degree. So first, we have even and positive. I'm going to do a sketch of f of x is equal to x squared. So that is a parabola opening up. Our leading coefficient is 1. So it is positive, and our degree is 2, so we are even. Our end behavior here, as our x values are approaching negative infinity, we have to look at our graph of x squared, and we are approaching positive infinity. Now, as our x values are approaching infinity, we want to look at our graph of x squared one more time and see that our y values are approaching positive infinity as well. So when we have an even degree with a positive leading coefficient, our end behavior is approaching positive infinity and positive infinity, both on the left and the right. Then, when we go to an even degree with a negative leading coefficient, I will sketch our graph, and we now have a parabola facing downward. So, our end behavior as our x values approach negative infinity, our graph of negative x squared is going towards negative infinity because we are going down. Then, as our x values are approaching positive infinity, our graph of negative x squared, the values of our graph are going down as well and approaching negative infinity. So when we have an even degree with a negative leading coefficient, our end behavior is negative infinity and negative infinity. Now let's look at odd. If we have an odd function, which means our degree is odd, and the positive leading coefficient, I will sketch our graph. To look like this, as our values of x approach negative infinity, our values of x cubed are approaching negative infinity also. As our values of x are approaching positive infinity, our graph is approaching positive infinity also. So now we have something different. We have our end behavior going from negative infinity to positive infinity for an odd function. So we're landing in opposite directions. Whereas when we had an even function, we were landing in the same direction. Now our last graph is odd negative. So we still have an odd degree with a negative leading coefficient. So if I sketch our graph, that wasn't the best graph. Sketch our graph. As x is going towards negative infinity, our graph is going towards positive infinity. And as x is going towards positive infinity, our graph is going towards negative infinity. So we're going to make a chart. When our degree is even, we're landing in the same. So we're either both going up or both going down. When we have a positive coefficient, we're both ending in positive infinity. So as we go to the left, we're going to positive infinity, and as we're going to the right, we're going to positive infinity. Then when we are negative leading coefficient, both of our end behaviors are going towards negative infinity. So as x approaches negative infinity, our graph approaches negative infinity. As x approaches positive infinity, our graph approaches negative infinity. Then odd is opposite endings. When we have a positive lead coefficient, we are starting off with our end behavior as x is going towards negative infinity. Our graph is going towards negative infinity. And as x is going towards positive infinity, our graph is going towards positive infinity. So we look like so. And the last one is when we have an odd degree and a negative leading coefficient. So as x is approaching negative infinity, our graph is approaching positive infinity. And as x is approaching positive infinity, our graph is approaching negative infinity, and we look like this. So we're going to do an example. We're going to determine our end behavior for our following function. We want to find out what our lead coefficient is, what our degree is. So first, our lead coefficient is -4, and my degree is 6. So I have an even degree with a negative leading coefficient. Even degree tells me I'm landing either both positive or both negative. Since I have a negative coefficient, I am landing both negative. So my end behavior as x approaches negative infinity, f of x, or my graph, is approaching negative infinity. And as x approaches infinity, my graph, f of x, is approaching negative infinity. Because if I sketch this, it would be an upside down parabola as my end behaviors. That's it. Have a wonderful weekend.